Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at a Frozen tale. So this is a look at Disney Frozen Polar Nights, Cast into Darkness. The author of this is Jen Calonita and Marie Mancusi. So I'm going to pronounce this. I actually read this online, so I don't have a physical copy. So this takes place after Frozen 2 and about 3 or so months later. So Anna, now Queen of Arendelle, is preparing for their Polar Night celebration, which is held every year to welcome. Sorry, it's almost 8 o'clock. The sun doesn't rise in the polar circle. So, and she's been working very hard that her fiance, Kristoff, suggests she take a night off and visit her sister, Elsa, the Snow Queen. So they go camping in the Enchanted Forest. Because Elsa understands how much pressure Anna's under, because she was queen for several years. Remember, she became queen at 18 and left at 21. So she understands how hard it is. And Anna's very anxious because this is her first Polar Night celebration. She wants everything to be perfect. Now, this is kind of typical of European, particularly Scandinavian, and also those in Iceland, and to tell spooky stories around this time of year. So this is kind of a Christmas tale, which is interesting because I'm recording this the day before Christmas Eve. So it is back the 23rd of December 23rd of 2024. So, namely, who tells this? Kristoff tells this story about this monstrous creature, basically almost a zombie, called a Draugr, which is an undead creature that steals memories in an effort to make others forget the misdeeds committed when it was alive. So, but somehow by doing this, he summons forth one of these creatures, and it's actually connected to a pair of sisters. So one of them who when visiting Arendelle, one of them died. She supposedly, the legend was that her sister, they didn't get along and they were arguing, and the younger sister was jealous of the older sister, and who was queen at the time, pushed her sister into the river, and her sister drowned. And the other sister was tried in Arendelle by Anna and Elsa's grandfather. This was during the time that he was building the dam. So if you remember Frozen 2, and yes, we've already reviewed that, he was building the dam to enclose the Enchanted Forest. He was a bad guy. Their grandfather was pretty nasty. So he sends this girl off she's convicted of murdering her sister, and he sends her off on a prison ship which sinks. They do come to find out that the girl's grandmother helped her escape because she believed that she did not murder her sister. And so she ended up on another ship and didn't die. And you kind of find out later what happened to her. So this, however, what is going on is basically the town is completely dark earlier than it's supposed to be, and everybody starts forgetting things, which is not good. So to the point, and Elsa's trying to help. Elsa and Anna are both trying to figure this out by looking through books. And at the time, Elsa, if you remember Frozen 2, there's a big talk of water has a memory. So she's been working on this power to bring memories through water, essentially. And she starts having a hard time doing this, but they keep she's trying to do this to figure out what really happened. They talk to the guy who runs I don't remember the first movie, the trading post, and he has a picture of them, and and from what he remembers is they were very, very close. The sisters were they were best friends, and they were very close. And they finally figure out that she didn't push her sister. So the younger sister did not push her other sister. They were fighting, yes, because the younger sister was very into nature, and she thought building the dam was a bad idea. And her sister was a little bit more of a pushover. And she was very, very intimidated by Anna and Elsa's grandfather. So and they needed the funds from these girls' country in order to build this dam. So their grandfather, when her sister, basically, she just tripped and fell, and her sister tried, but her sister couldn't rescue her. But then her sister, and somebody, a young boy was watching, and he saw what really happened, but it turns out they went and find him because he's gotten out of town. And Anna and Elsa's grandfather threatened him that if he did not lie, his grandfather would pretty much destroy this kid's life. So he lied, and she, of course, was convicted. And the undead Draga, which is of the older sister, is trying to clear her sister's name. And they do eventually realize that at the time, and this is mentioned earlier, that there were pirates right outside the harbor. They're not doing anything. They're just kind of hanging out. But they realize that the pirate, and Kristoff figures, it was Kristoff that figures this out. No, Kristoff has completely forgotten her at the post time. The trolls are helping. And they let her know. It's like, yeah, the pirate queen is actually the younger sister. She didn't die. So they go out on the ships to try to talk to this pirate queen. And Elsa uses her powers to get over there and talk to what turns out to be the pirate queen's granddaughter, and tells her, it's like, we need to talk to your grandmother because we realize that she was done wrong by our grandfather, and we want to apologize and we're having some issues here with her undead sister. So they eventually get the sisters reunited. The older sister ceases to be a monster and is at peace. The darkness leaves. Everybody starts to remember everything, including Kristoff, remembering that he's engaged to Anna. And they do a memorial to the sisters and bring in, and the old woman now is welcomed back home if she needs it, as well as her granddaughter, because the ruler is currently, and they also go and visit them during the course of this tale to try to find out more about the sisters. But I believe it's now being ruled by what would have been the girl's cousin and his daughter. And they're welcome. Basically, it's like, you're welcomed back. Because they never saw them. They never believed it. They never believed that the younger sister killed the older sister because they knew her. There were people there who knew her. It's like, no, these girls were thick as thieves, and the younger sister did not want to rule. She had better things to do. She was a naturalist. She was concerned about nature. But again, Anna and Elsa's grandfather had her convicted because with her as queen, he wouldn't get what he wanted. And so the last thing he wanted, basically, he wouldn't have been able to build his dam without their money. So, and I'm guessing their cousin who would take over would essentially not protest him, or maybe was too young. So again, it has a happy ending, and then they realize that and Anna realizes just how much she shouldn't be stressing about the Polar Nights celebration, because nobody's able to get anything done. She's like, it's about family being together. And that's the important thing. And I believe Elsa's able to show Anna a memory of their parents because that's what she had been working on. So this is kind of an interesting tale. I'm hearing my child coughing. I actually really, really enjoyed it because it's definitely a touch, particularly if you're talking about, again, these are kind of a Christmas winter tale. And they do have a tendency, particularly in these traditional areas, to tell ghost stories. That was something that was done. There's a lot of legends of monsters and things going on at the darkest night of the year. So I really enjoyed this. I think this isn't for the littler kids because this can definitely be scarier. And I'm showing the print length of 221 pages. So this is definitely going to be middle school, high school tale. If they're interested in Frozen or aware of the tale. So I really, really enjoyed it as an adult. I like the story because I also really liked Frozen 2. So it's become one of my favorite movies. So, but I really did enjoy this. I highly recommend it. And I think this is the last video I'm doing. Come back here because I was staring at the Amazon page because of course I had an ebook. In fact, I just bought the Kindle version rather than having just borrowed from my library because I liked it that much because that's what I do with things that I like. And I want to read again. So in this case, where's my brain going? It's 8:07. Oh. And and it's the day before Christmas Eve. So it's busy. And again, my 5-year-old is active. So I do believe this is the last story I'm doing for January. So check out, I'm doing Frozen 1, Frozen 2, a few other different Frozen and Snow Queen related tales. Hopefully I'll review some more Frozen books at a later date because I do enjoy this and I do believe they have a third one possibly coming out. So we may get back to Frozen at a later date. We will be going into the Lion King and African tales. The reason I'm not covering the Princess of the Frog is because I've already done it. So you can check out that video if you're interested in Black History Month there. I do have quite a few videos on Black History Month. Then we're going to be moving into Irish History Month, which means we're going to be covering Brave and a bunch of Irish folk tales and a few other films related to Ireland. So, and then I'm doing Ariel, The Little Mermaid, which means I have to watch the live action, which we'll see. I'm dreading watching the live action Lion King. I really am. But we'll do it. You'll get my opinions on that. So if you like this channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. 2025 is a year of fairy tales, so it's a great place to, if you're looking for an escape, you can come listen to me talk about various different things. And possibly read the books I'm recommending, even if they're children's books. So, or some of the films as well. And you can also check out the rest of the channel. I have a lot of stuff. I've been doing this for, oh God, a couple of years now. And yeah, I put a heck of a lot of weight in that time. But I'm a mom. So, again, like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. And I will see you next time. Thank you.